Oh, it's 2024. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
How you ladies feeling? Good? How you
feeling
feeling about the new
amazing.
year, P?
I'm feeling amazing, honestly.
Yes.
Like, overall, just at peace and just ready for what's to come.
Okay, I love that. What about you, G?
I'm
What you
feeling
bringing?
Fearless.
Okay.
I just walked into my fearless era, okay?
Right.
That's what I'm
it.
talking about.
Coming for everything that has my name on it.
Yes, walking in like God sent you.
Every day. What about you, Jasenia?
Honestly, closing 2023, what a crazy year it was.
Right.
Even to the last day for me, like 4 or 5 hours before the ball dropped, I had to walk away from stuff. Even if it's even when it's family and it hurts, you gotta just be like, I can't.
Yes.
You're disrespectful. Mind your business.
Right.
Bye.
Yes.
And you gotta take care of your peace.
Right.
That is a
That's
fact.
right.
That is a fact. Fellas, I'm going to ask you guys in the back to be a little quiet for us. Thank you. Quiet on the set. Okay. Well, listen, I agree with you, ladies. Definitely. I'm glad you left it, even at the last minute. That's probably the best time, too. It was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bye.
That was God.
That was God. Because the devil unleashed itself. And I was like, okay, this is exactly what I've been feeling over the last 14 years, but you just
And it
proved
reveals
it.
itself.
And when
You
we
see
so
that?
stubborn to see it ourselves, he does it. He removes it.
does.
And it's a done deal.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone is feeling great, is feeling positive, is feeling like, this is going to be the best year of their life. And I don't care what nobody says. Everybody's like, oh, you don't got to say new year, new me. Who cares? Say what you want to say.
Exactly.
If this is the
Do
new
what you
you
wanna
this
do.
year, that's right.
Yeah.
If this is the new you this year, it's the new you
Let
this
it be.
year.
Let it
I
be.
welcome that. Okay.
Right. Because
I welcome that.
what looks a certain way to you may not look a certain way to somebody else, and vice versa. Like, so like
Exactly.
you said, this is your new year, this is your new me shit. Whatever it is, live it.
Right.
Stands on it,
That's it.
okay?
That.
Stands on it. Actually, that made me think about something real quick. So I was with my kids this past week, and they just got back from their break, and one of my children's businesses was called Stand on Business. Okay. And so I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Right. That's right.
But anyway, y'all, we are so excited to be back.
Yes.
We're here at the Matrix Studio. Shout out to DWI for all the amazing stuff he's done with us over the last few years and all the amazing guests that we've had. Thank you. We're really honored to have had all of you guys sit here with us. We're definitely humbled and appreciative. And also for our 2 guests that we have here today, okay?
Yes.
It feels really good to be supported and to be seen and heard and, all of that good stuff, because we do always want to bring some good vibes and some good energy and highlight people that are just doing amazing things. That is very important for us because we want to bring relatability. That's it.
Right.
So you guys can relate to each and every guest that we've had on here, okay? So make sure you guys are liking, following, commenting, sharing, all of that good stuff, okay? Don't sleep.
Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep.
Don't.
Okay? And we're about to be on your local TV. So
Right.
tune in. Okay?
Talk about it. The girls from the Bronx going back to the Bronx. Okay.
Very true. We love BK. We love y'all.
Yeah, but,
But we gotta
too
go
many
back to
easy
our
pass.
hometown.
Yeah.
Too much easy pass to get here. I'm sorry.
We'll be here though.
Yes,
This is
we'll
always our
definitely.
home. So we'll be back and forth. We'll be on your, local TV. We'll be on, all of your major platforms, all of that good stuff. So, but let's get right to it because
Yes.
we have an amazing guest sitting here today. Oh, and it's also Three Kings Day. So,
is.
yes. And I'm celebrating my birthday tomorrow. Woo!
Capricorn season. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So I'm very excited. So, we're here whooping it up and celebrating and all that good stuff. So, but let's get right to it. Oh my God. We have our first amazing guest here today, Miss Jasenia. Yes.
So happy to be amongst you.
Multifaceted queen.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be amongst you ladies. I feel the energy. I feel the vibe. It's such a great, again, 2024, it's just a powerful, powerful year. I don't know what it is, but there's
absolutely.
something there
Yes.
and it feels great. So
Yes, it
I
does.
agree.
It does. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you
you
so
for
much.
having
We got a
me.
lot of girl power sitting up here. Okay.
Yes.
So Jasenia, oh my God, where do I start?
it's a long resume, guys.
I love it.
Yes.
Well,
But a
I am
marvelous
39.
one.
I am
Yes.
39.
Oh my God, girl, don't
So-
Wait,
Queen.
39.
We're here,
39
queen.
where?
Yes.
birth certificate. My bones. My
Birth
bones.
certificate.
Oh, you 18,
It's a
19.
It's a long resume, but to be fair, I started when I was 24. Okay. I took a few years off and got back on the horse in like 2018. I don't know how old I was then. Do the math, but you know, it was a different time then than it is now. Back then, it was portfolio, resume. Right. Your reel wasn't your reel. You know, you're acting real. That was something totally different for the young ones that are tuning in. So, you know, I love to dive into creative, you know, the arts and expression.
Yeah, no, listen, I love it. I'm all about do whatever it is that you love. Yeah. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Don't let nobody put you in a box. No. Okay, so I love that. And you're doing a lot of amazing things. And we have a lot in common. So I love that.
Earth sign too, so there you go. It starts there too.
So let's get started first. Let's talk a little bit about your real estate.
Yeah, that's new. That's new.
Okay, you know, let's talk about that because I know that now in 2024 we're all about getting our money. We're all about getting our bags.
Getting in our bags.
We're all about investing. We're all about making money while we're sleeping.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about that and how you foresee the market in 2024.
So it's very interesting because I was talking about it with a few friends of mine that've been in the industry for a while, and we're seeing that the interest rates are going down, which is nice. Now here's the thing: there's a new election. What comes with that might be up and down. We don't know. So even amongst our peers, I'm gonna tell you why I got my license.
Right.
I got my license for one. I want to buy. I want to get investment property. You know, I want to be able to funnel my money in a smart way and get that cash flow. They don't teach us this stuff, this financial literacy, especially to women or especially to minorities. And it gets to the point where you're like, how is everybody else doing it? It's because they got property. Right. You know, a lot of the times it's. Yes, talent can take you so far, and I'm the little engine that could. I'm still pushing through, you know. Right. But I was like, all right, talking about it with the realtor, talking about it with the broker ain't helping me none. I got to get my license so I could be amongst these people that I can then call as a colleague, and you're going to give me data, information that I otherwise wouldn't be able to get if I just called the bank. Because the bank is going to try to give me a loan, and it doesn't even matter. Right. So that's the reason why I decided to get my license, because I was like, all right, if I want to get into this space, I need to know the language, and I need to be in that industry where I'm going to be amongst people that I can confide in their professional opinion. And had I listened to some folks a year ago, I'd have made the biggest, craziest mistake, you know? But that's the thing. People want to just push things on you. Right. And so that's why. So for me, knowledge is power. I know that a lot of times people are like, oh, you go to school, you learn nothing. That can be true if you're going to school to learn things that don't apply to what you want to do.
Exactly.
But I had to take my ass back to school because I had to learn what the hell all this verbiage was. Right. So we won't know until the election goes through. But it is a conversation, and it is something that we should keep our eyes open and ask. And if you have family members, have that that conversation. Because I literally was just having it like 2 days ago. I was like, all right, interest rates are dropping, but I'm still not getting my first investment property. Not just yet. Not just yet. So hold on.
Right. And what advice will you give somebody who is preparing to get into the real estate investment world?
Well, if you first, you're going to need some funds, right?
No, obviously.
So the first thing you're going to need is, start doing your research, because people think, oh, I'm ready to get a house. That process could take anywhere from 6-8 months to a year. So start doing that now. There are a lot of loans out there that favor especially women, first-time home buyers, people of color. So start doing that homework. Start applying. Start working on getting your credit. If it ain't good, get it decent. If it ain't decent, get it better. Yes. So that way, when you're ready, boom, ahí ya está. You know, you got to prepare. It's not like, oh, you know what, the bank's going to approve me in a week, in a month. No, it's going to take a while. Yes. Do your homework. Look at the market. That's all. As much as we're online looking at things like, what kind of outfit can I buy today? Right. Start doing that with real estate.
Right. And talk to me a little bit about the exam. How?
Oh, it wasn't easy in the aspects of my life, between traveling, between working, between creating and filming. I'm wearing all multiple hats. I had to dedicate hours of my day to go to school. I did it digitally. The test itself, I heard people, took it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I passed the first time. Maybe that's the Virgo in me, but no. But I busted my ass.
Rub some energy.
I busted my ass. Lord knows, I would stay up. I would stay up till like 5, 6 in the morning, going over my stuff. Like, I really worked really hard, and that's the thing people don't understand. Even with social media, I work really hard. It ain't easy, especially to go against the algorithm and going against time.
Girl.
Do you know what I mean?
We're gonna get into that in a little
Yes,
bit.
we are.
So when it comes to getting my license, I really busted my ass. That's
Right.
all I could say. There were sleepless nights. I said there was no time off. I did what I had to do, showed face what I had to do. I had a world premiere for the Transformers to support Anthony Ramos. And I went there, and I didn't even stay for the after party. I didn't even stay to watch the film. I did the red carpet, showed face, went home, studied in the morning, took my test.
I love that though.
yes.
I love that
Listen,
though. 'Cause
sacrifice.
That's what I did.
Yes. And no,
Sacrifice.
While going through a really crazy relationship that was in the last parts of its end. Emotionally, I was mentally distraught,
Right.
but I had to I'm like, yo, my mind is here. I gotta pass. I gotta pass.
Yes.
It was for me.
But I love that, and thank you for sharing that, because when some of us have those moments where we feel like we can't move forward, boom, here's an example that you can, okay? Because I always think about that. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this is so much. But then I'm like, no, but J-Lo's doing it every day. Every day.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
doing like 50,000 things at the same time. Let's get up and go. So thank you for sharing that. And
No, no.
kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank
For
you.
doing that and passing, and thank you. Thank you for sharing that information with us. So I'm gonna shift the convo a little bit. I know you are a trauma and abuse survivor as well, and I know that you have been working on a film.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that.
See, while I was going to school, I was still finishing. I'm gonna talk about this because my inspiration for directing a movie came from Eva Longoria. And this is a funny story because ever since I started following her, I looked at her because I'm Ecuadorian. There's not a lot of Ecuadorians. So the closest thing that I could see relatable to me are Mexicans, because of our indigenous roots.
Right.
So when I see a woman with the dark hair and the chinita eyes and the olive skin, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I looked up to her from the moment my eyes laid on her. And I drastically changed my look because we look too similar and people used to always like, oh, you're not
I was just gonna say that you resemble
I'm like,
a lot.
I'm me. But I remember following her story, and somewhere I thought that she had started directing films. And I'm like, yo, as a creative, you have to be sometimes in the front of the camera, but after a while you get tired. You want to be behind the camera.
Right.
So I was like, if she's doing it, I could do it too. And I swear manifestation is real.
Yes.
Because my friend who's a screenwriter, director, producer, my story of my life, he was inspired. He started writing something, draft, and he goes, oh, look at this script I'm working on. And I'm like, this eerily sounds like my life. He's like, it is. He's like, I want you to help me finish this film. I was like, okay. He goes, I was like, can I direct it too? And that was the whole idea. I was never even planning to be in the movie because I wanted to be behind the lens.
Right.
But we casted an amazing, cast, extremely talented. But because I'm trying to pioneer for Ecuadorians, the storyline is based on an Ecuadorian family, so we needed to cast people that looked Ecuadorian.
Right.
And we got the little girl, we got the teenager, but we needed the adult. And he was like, Jasenia, it's got to be you. I'm like, no. And every person that was auditioning, I was like, you white. You are white. You are white. You're not even Latina. You're Italian. So that was really, really, really and then the here's the punchline and the kicker. I got invited to Flaming Hot, the private screening with Eva Longoria. She was there, and I'm like, oh my God, she's there. And then I'm realizing that was her first film that she ever directed. And I'm like, yo, this whole time I thought she's been directing. And I was like, we're doing it around the same time. She just finished wrapping a movie. I'm about to finish wrapping this movie. Obviously, the caliber is much higher, but, we can look at others and be inspired. And that's the message of this whole thing. And when you find somebody that you can click and relate to, especially if they mirror something of you, use that as a resource. For you, you just credited Jennifer Lopez. I always get oh, the way you speak, the way, and I'm like, that's because I'm from Jersey, I'm like, I lost my voice because I was screaming the other day, literally. But I was like, no, everyone from the East Coast sounds like that. We all got swag, but it's funny. So as a survivor, this movie really does a lot because I lived with survivor's guilt for far too long, and telling my story, even doing public speaking, was healing, and seeing it help people was also healing. But I was like, how do I touch more that I can't physically reach and in a room? And it's kind of funny how it all just kind of manifested and became this thing. So for me, that is like my tribute to those that are no longer alive, that can't tell their stories, to those people that are in the dark that need to tell their stories, and a voice to just remind people that there is light at the end of that dark tunnel.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
Absolutely. Wow.
I love that.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, yes. I love that. And thank you for representing for us Latinas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All day.
And like,
And the new wave of Latinas, because like, I'm
Yes.
getting tired of Hollywood playing the same ass people. Okay,
True.
I know we don't age, but goddamn.
Listen,
But the fact that we reinvent ourselves in so many ways.
so many
is like-
ways, yes. And you
Right.
know, Giselle and I talk all the time because we always say that we have an accent, and
Yeah.
sometimes it comes out a lot.
Oh my God, especially when I'm nervous. It's like, English is my first language, but why does it sound like it's my second? Okay.
I love
It's
it.
crazy because I had a meeting the other day and I'm talking, you know, doing my thing, you know, kicking the game. And one of the gentlemen was like, yeah, because I can hear the accent from the Bronx. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. That is my accent.
I always shout out
So I
Newark,
love
New
it.
Jersey. I'm like, Brick City, baby.
That's right. Exactly. No, but thank you for sharing that. Yes, listen, trauma and abuse, you know, in whatever form it has happened to folks is something that we should continue to talk about, something we should continue to bring light to, because we can help so many get through that process.
Right.
Even families who have lost loved
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah.
you know, due to that. So thank you for that. And I cannot wait to watch it.
I'm excited. I
me
can't
too.
wait.
Yes.
It was made out of love.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
yes. Okay.
And you're also a content creator.
I am.
Before we get to the content,
We gotta get to the great
we want to
side.
talk about this. But wait, before we get to the content, I also want to ask you about your self-love movement
Yeah.
with your fitness. Was that correlated to like everything you've been through and bringing that healthy mindset, healthy body?
Yeah, so I wear this logo, which everybody's like, "Oh my God, where can I get it?" It's one of a kind. It's
love that.
it's my brand. You love you. So it's a movement of self-love. For me, even coming out of this relationship, which was really crazy because I was very public with who I was dating. Because when I'm in love, I'm in love. I'm a true romantic, and I don't hide anything. And well, you're gonna lose followers, and they were never my followers. They were never people that were gonna support. You know,
Exactly.
you can't support me in my
Exactly.
happiness.
Right.
Then, like, what am I supposed to do? Be single forever just for your entertainment? No,
Right.
I got life.
Right.
Like, while you got a wife and kids and you there liking my shit, I can't have a
Exactly.
boyfriend. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But self-love for me, I was gordita when I was growing up, and it wasn't baby fat. Like, I was very heavy. I was 16 and told that if I kept this quality of life, that I was gonna not live long, and that it was going to only have issues. And at 16, granted, doctors didn't know how to speak to their patients back then, you know, even worse there. And it really scared me skinny. So I developed an eating disorder. I developed anorexia. And that led to people monitoring me, which then led me to bulimia, because I was like, all right, well then if nobody's gonna let me starve, I'll eat for your pleasure, but I'm gonna take it to the bathroom. And I had ruptured my vocal cord, so it changed my singing voice drastically, because at the time I was in like the lead church choir. I was also, you know, in the glee club. But it did open myself up and say, oh my God. So my journey to even why I fell into an abusive relationship and stayed in an abusive relationship is because I didn't love myself. And I'm not gonna say, you know, I know it's gonna sound really hard, but it's easy to point the blame on the ex that it didn't work out, but you gotta take accountability and look into the mirror.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Facts.
And it's self.
Period.
It's self. And you got to take accountability. And so I did all this work, and it was amazing. And it's funny because you can learn everything. You can have all the material, but God's going to test you.
Right.
Yes.
He's going to be like, all right,
Every time.
Is he?
he's like, okay, child, you learned, but can you apply what you learned?
Right.
It's
Let me throw some curveballs in there.
And so I was, you know, dodging them as a single woman. And then when we fall in love, you fall in love. And not to say that my last relationship, that he was a bad person, just there were signs that he wasn't a ready man.
Right.
And although we had the conversation when we first were, you know, sitting down on our first date, hey, I'm going to freeze my eggs. Hey, I want to have kids by the time I'm 40. Hey, I want to get married. There was that conversation of agreeance, but if you're not a ready man, don't go on that journey with a
Don't
woman.
play.
Don't.
Yes.
Don't, because
Yes, agreed.
that is time that you cannot get back, and effort and
Absolutely.
energy you can't get back. I got my eggs frozen with the man that was present in my life that really wasn't present in my life, that now isn't in my life, and it kind of sucks because that journey should have been a little bit easier, but I was dealing with this man's stress. And because I'm a good woman, and our mothers raised us to be esa mujer, esa, the pillar, you put yourself last when it comes to this, and that's where I faulted. That's where my lesson. It was like God was like, "Did you not learn a thing? Did you not learn a thing? But love will have you do some crazy things." So now I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm ready. Whenever it's time to redo the test, I'm ready because I learned the hardest way. I learned the hardest way. I was public with this relationship. I worked for this relationship. It didn't work out, but guess what? I should have ended it 3 months into it.
Right. That was the lesson.
Right,
That was the whole lesson.
right, and that was the so that's what the movement's about, and I'm actually really happy that now I have time in 2024 to put love into that, because that was really my baby. I discovered that in 2020, but now it's like, all right, Mom, I've been waiting for your ass. Let's go for it.
Right.
And the fitness was because I learned the balance between health, discipline. You don't gotta look a certain way to be healthy,
No.
but you gotta feel and be healthy,
Absolutely.
and that's all what You Love You is about.
Right.
Yes, I love that.
Health is wealth.
It is. It
Okay,
is.
if your health is not right, and again, like you said, it's not just physical, it's internal, it's your
Mind,
mindset,
spirit,
everything. If it's not right, everything is not going to fall into alignment.
Right.
So, yes,
Absolutely.
we have to work on ourselves, and that is something that we should focus on in
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah.
So, I've been preaching this since the pandemic,
Yeah.
because in the pandemic, so many people complained that they were stuck in the house and they were bored and this and that. And I'm like, listen, this is the time to
Yeah.
reset. This is the time you take to look at yourself in the mirror, to see what you can improve, talk to yourself, take accountability for things that have gone wrong in the past, all of that. So definitely y'all take the time to do that. And like Jasenia said, if y'all fellas ain't ready, do not play.
Right.
Right.
Just leave women
Just be
alone.
honest. Just be honest. Don't play. Just be honest. State what it is that you want with me, and let me know the truth.
And listen,
That's it.
and there's one thing when you want something, but here's the one thing I learned about this, and this is from the last 2 relationships. If a man's not happy with where he is in life, it don't matter how amazing a woman you are, he is not happy with himself.
Absolutely.
It's not about you being at the wrong address. It means that he ain't ready because he's still working on himself, and that's okay.
And that's okay. That's okay.
Right.
Yes.
Because it's vice versa. It's for women too. It's not just for men.
Exactly.
Like, and I know, and I have guy friends that like I empathize for them because I can relate. Like,
Absolutely.
So women and men, if you're not ready to be in a relationship,
Yes.
do not play with people's emotions.
That's right. That's
Work
right.
on you. That's all you got to do, boo.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
Work
We
on
all
you.
have to be honest with each other. I think that's where it goes
Transparency.
wrong when we're dating and things like that. Yeah, transparency. That's it. We're all healing from trauma, and especially as we get older, we're carrying years and years of trauma. So we just have to be honest with each other. That's it. I'm doing the healing work. You
Right.
down with it?
Right.
Because sometimes
We all
right.
healing.
And we guilty is gonna come out.
Right, we
You
heal
know?
together. Listen.
You already know.
Sometimes a little crazy is gonna come out, but just know I'm healing. We healing together.
Right. We doing the movement.
Let's love each
together.
other through this.
Well, I was listening to something on the way here. I like to listen to a lot of self-growth development things.
Yes,
and there was this, it basically went to this context. We all gone through trauma, whether we want to admit it or not. Some to the far extremes, like I almost lost my life. But that doesn't mean my trauma is worse than yours.
Exactly.
Right.
But here's the
Exactly.
scenario. Let's say you're a couple, you're fighting. Something's triggered your partner. It's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's about how to address your partner that's triggered. Now, were they triggered to the 5-year-old version of themselves? Were they triggered to the
right.
12-year-old?
That is-
Trauma bonds.
Because
Let's go.
That is it right
no, because
there.
if they are, then you can't be like you're acting like a child. They literally are. Their trauma just
are.
got triggered. So how would you talk to a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old?
Right.
Are you going to ignore them and abandon them? Or are you going to just say, "Hey, I understand you. I'm not
Right.
leaving you. Let's take 5 minutes. Let's regroup."
Yes.
But like, are you going to reassure them? And that's what we need to learn
Yes.
as people getting involved into relationships. is this the person that was wounded as a kid or wounded as an
Right.
adult? And knowing how to love what it is they exactly need from
Exactly.
you. No
Amen.
egos, starve it. You know, starve the ego.
That is like so accurate, and I think that that's not only in dating relationships, that's in relationships period.
Yeah.
Whether it's with your family
every
members,
aspect.
your friends,
Work.
your coworkers, whatever it is. Like sometimes those triggers come out in times where you don't even understand it, you don't even know. So yes, I agree with that 100%.
And just knowing that no one is perfect. Everybody has their baggage. Everybody has their
Absolutely.
issues. And it's like,
Yes.
if you're with somebody and you want to be with somebody, sometimes you have to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
God put you there. Well, not all the time you got to stay, but sometimes you got to help.
You have to
know?
do the
It's like,
work. You
you're
have to
there
do the
for a
work.
reason.
Relationships take
Everything
work.
happens for a reason.
You have to do the
Yeah,
work.
because sometimes
Yes.
we meet people just to help them.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
might think that's going to be the love of your life at that point in time.
Right.
But that person just came into your life to teach you a lesson,
Right.
and then it's their time to go.
Yeah.
Unless it's
Yes.
something is that's non-negotiable, then I understand it's non-negotiable
Right.
for you as a person.
Yeah.
But if you there, God put you there, it's to help that person understand.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
we're together,
Yeah.
we're healing, and
Right.
we're gonna do this.
Right.
And I've seen a whole bunch of relationships turn out great because they
Blossom.
help each other.
But it takes two
Right.
people to
Right.
know and
It
understand.
takes two
Exactly.
people,
Not
Right.
the ego.
Yes.
The ego. Like, yeah, for
Yes.
example, my relationship failed. Why? Because their ego got the best of it. And I was just tired of having to be therapist. I was tired of having to be mom. I was tired of having to be coach. I was tired. And that spawns resentment. And then you become someone and you're not. And so, long story short, yes,
Talk
you
about
come
it.
into people's lives, they and yours, to help them, and they might be a lesson, and sometimes it works out and it's a beautiful blessing. And that's what we all kind of stay in for, because I'm not a quitter, but
Right.
you know, and I'm not going to pretend here and say I left them. No, they left me, and I had to look at it as, all right, maybe I came into your life to help you, and I did. I know I definitely know I elevated him, and I pray to God that he continues to move forward, and I wish him nothing but the best. That's
That
it.
is it.
Amen.
And that is it. Amen to that. Well, look at us.
Grown up.
I love love. I love topics of
We're
love.
evolving. We are evolving, y'all. Well,
Can we
this.
switch the gears and
Yes.
let's talk about
But
creativity?
listen, but Jasenia also has a podcast called Girl Talk. So this
do.
was literally,
I can't wait.
this was literally what Girl
I
Talk was
love
all
it.
about right
Right.
here. So
Hilarious.
this was really great. Yes.
No, so it's funny because I started that as a passion project in the pandemic. I got 55,000 downloads, and that was amazing because I'm sure you gone to my page and I don't push it on my major. Like I have 500,000 here, 4 million there, 500,000 there. I let it organically do its thing.
Right.
And everybody was like, why don't you have video? You should have video. And I was like, because I don't want people to watch. I want them to listen. I want them to tune in. I come from a space where I like audio. I'm driving. And I was like, listen, I know that if we have so in 2024, we're working on a project. The project is, let's bring it back to a visual format because it never was. So let's bring it back and bring it as a visual format. But you have to understand, I produce it, I engineer it, I edit it.
It's a lot of work.
So listen,
Yes.
I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo. Y'all need it.
That's a lot of
I'm
work.
a Virgo. But so I'm curious to see what the shift is going to be like once it does become video. But A Girl Talks basically was a girl who talks about things that matter, whether it's
Yes.
social taboos, what's going on in the world, mental health, relationships. So that's what it is. I actually have it under culture and society as a category. And again, 55,000 downloads in less than a year. To me, that's a lot. Without
That's great. That's
without
amazing.
having to push it. Now I put it on pause. Shame on me, because I was in a relationship and I got caught up and I was helping them elevate. And I was like, I can get to it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow becomes almost 2 years.
Right.
So let me ask you this: how do you feel about the abundance of podcasts that are out there, and those naysayers that are like, "Oh, there's too many podcasts out there"?
Or cancel them for
why-
2024.
Right?
You
yes.
never was heard when you was in school.
Let's talk about that.
There's never enough information or data to be told and shared.
Exactly.
It's
Period.
never enough.
Yes.
Just kind of like that saying, there's not one question that's dumb. There's not one conversation that's insignificant. So
Agreed.
stay consistent. That's all I can tell you.
Right.
You have a beautiful team. You got no excuse.
Right.
Y'all have no excuse. See, I don't got this, you know? Fine, you know? If all I had to do was show up and be myself, cool. I would have
Right.
never had to put pause, but I had to work, pay the bill. Like, I had to
Yeah,
kind of like
everything
prioritize
right.
my life. So people that gonna hate, they gonna hate. Even Jesus had haters.
Oh, right.
Even Jesus had haters. He was crucified by them.
I love that.
And I'm saying that to say that there's not enough. There's always people that will fall into placement with you.
Right.
And don't do it for the number game. Do it for your purpose.
yes.
Right? Do it for
Exactly.
your
Everybody
purpose.
has their own community.
Exactly.
Everybody
Right.
has their own
Yes.
following, their own community, their own
Yes.
people that are going to attract And to their what own they're doing.
audience.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So you never know who's watching and whose life you're changing.
Yes.
So yeah, keep it going.
Well, thank you
Now,
for that.
now can we get into the
Wait, hold on,
content
wait a minute. Just what would you say is like one of your favorite go-tos for like content creation?
Oh, there we go.
My favorite go-tos. I like putting up stuff and people are like, yo, it's so relatable. It's relatable to me.
Right. Exactly.
I'm happy that you find that it's relatable to you, but I'm doing it for me.
Right.
You know, I'm doing it because I find comedic relief in sometimes, calling myself out there sometimes.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's humbling sometimes. And then I do things that I feel are in my truth, authentic self.
Yes.
There's a video on my Instagram. I didn't think it was gonna hit 18 million views. Why? I'm confused. I get invited to go to red carpets all the time, and I had a deadline to help, shout out the thing. They don't just invite you just so you can be pretty. They're like, all right, you gotta freaking put that shit on your feed. All right, cool. I'm putting it, and the audio was just so funny because it kind of reminded me of my little self that never spoke up for myself. And I'm at the red carpet, and this guy's like, Jessica. And I always write big ass books. I don't know if you ever read my captions. They're massive, right? And long story short, in those captions, I literally sharing this video with the aspect of it's not going to get enough engagement, it's not going to get enough views, but I got to put this thing, and I think it's kind of highlighting something that is worth me telling a story.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm telling my story, and I said my whole life I hated my name. My whole life, my mom and dad, as even though we grew up in the projects of Newark, they busted their asses to put me in Polish Catholic school. So I'm the only not white girl there. So not only did I not like my name, they butchered it. And so it kind of I was sharing that narrative, and obviously people sometimes don't read, but it got love.
A lot of time.
And then it got hate. It got love and it hate. The hate was for the people that didn't read what I had to say. They were like, oh, she's entitled because they kept calling her Jessica, and the one guy called her Jasenia and said, get it right. Oh, she's full of herself. What?
No.
Just because you see, I'm not gonna lie, that dress made my butt look really good. Just because you see a girl with a whole big booty don't mean that my life has been served to my plate.
Right.
And the whole message
That is
of it.
not your name. Your
Right.
name is Jasenia.
And the whole message was I was very grateful for the men that corrected this one guy, because it wasn't like he said it one time. He was saying it like 5-6 times without even trying. Like, at least say Jess, Right. So the security guard goes, it's Jasenia, get it right. And then he goes, Jasenia.
Kudos to him.
And I'm shouting out that message that sometimes it takes people, because I honestly shunned, you could tell that there was a moment that I kind of got shy and the little girl kicked in. And then when he said something and I felt like someone stood up for me, you could see that my shoulders go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I am just. And I end it with, thank you, thank you. I was thanking the men that did that. So people that got that message and read in clarity, that reading comprehension is key.
Yeah, read is fundamental.
They supported it, but then there was the haters. But I was like, wow, it's kind of like what my friend Johnny Marines told me. He managed Aventura and Romeo Santos. He goes, you don't want to always be loved. You want to be hated on too.
It comes with the territory.
Yes.
Yes.
So shout out to the haters.
Exactly.
Shout out to the haters.
Listen, somebody's not talking about you. You ain't doing something right.
I already know that the
Listen.
person that I said, no more in 2023 is probably watching this. Like, even though you were blocked and you stalked,
Oh well.
They're going to find
well.
a way, trust me.
But listen,
Exactly.
I love that you said that. You talked about your voice, because that is actually part of our slogan, which is we found our motherfucking voice.
yeah,
Okay.
love it.
So I love that, because I definitely am a person who also had that similar, type of background where I always didn't feel comfortable speaking up for myself because I went through similar traumas and abuse. So I definitely made it a thing to where, I'm going to speak up for myself. I also come from the corporate world, a Latina.
hard.
Didn't fit in, like you said back then, all of that, and always shunned away and didn't speak up for myself. So, I'm like, no, I'm stepping out on my purpose, and I'm going to speak up, and I'm going to help others do the same. And that's what we focus on this platform. So
Exactly.
thank you for
All
saying
day.
that.
I love it.
Yes.
Feelings, you heard?
So So let's continue to talk a little bit about the content. So, we're getting into content creation
Listen,
ourselves.
that's what I said, content
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
1, 2, 3, and it's not.
They said it. They said it. They said it. Oh my God, they said it. No, the worst part, and this is why I said it, because here I am putting all this time and energy to build a page off of scratch, which was my couples page. And we just hit the point where we were going to get monetized on YouTube. I deactivated it, and I was like, we can't be making couples pages like content if we are not like tight the way a couple should be. I can't be promoting fake shit.
Right.
So that's what I mean in terms of like the content that you put out. Be true to you.
Right.
Because when you are your authentic self, like back to the story about my name, that shit, I never thought it would even get 1,000 plays, let alone 18 million.
Right.
So what I'm saying is don't do it for the numbers. Do it for the authenticity, and something's gonna hit. Something's gonna hit.
Just be yourself. I agree with that. I agree. Just be yourself. Yeah, that's something that I'm trying to embrace too this year. Just like I have like. So, we're earth signs. So I could be like very type A, very organized, very like, all right, we got to do this, but I do have my fun side where I like to let loose and I like spontaneity.
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm going to bring that out more,
Do it.
especially this year. I'm going to bring that out more in my content as well.
I love
so
it.
I agree with you. Definitely. Just be yourself, be relatable. And that's how people will start following you. And if whoever doesn't, doesn't.
Yeah.
But we don't have
You
to worry
might find a
about that.
sound. You might be inspired by a video, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's me. Only I would do it a little different.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yes. Well, before we let you go, because time is running up, and I'm sad about that. But we also have, in coincidence to your podcast, Girl Talk, we always have our girl chat.
Yes, we do.
And did she bring the question?
So I didn't, but I have them here.
I don't see
No, but I did see something on your page where you talked about how just like we were like shocked about your age and how you talk about, men always think you're younger. So a lot of young men hit on you.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that.
And that's another thing. I did not think this was gonna make it on the news. This is like this.
Yes, it did make it on the news.
It's like, what the hell? It's on like the Daily Sun, which is like a UK newspaper. Oh my gosh. I was like, what? So the whole point of that was I've been ID'd since I was younger than my age. This has been a thing. This Benjamin Button thing is not a thing just because like I'm about to push 40. No. At 18, I looked young. At 12, I looked young. At 21, I looked young. But I do present young. And now it was cute maybe in the beginning.
Right.
It was cute when you were like 25 and you were dating a, little 19-year-old. Maybe that was cute. Maybe it was cute when you were 33 and you were dating a 26-year-old. But tell me what 20, 30-year-old now at almost 40 got their life together. I'm done being mom. I'm done being personal assistant. I'm done.
that.
I need a man. And not to say that age comes a man, because there's some young ass men out there that are men.
That got their things
better
together.
men that got their life together. Their
Right.
finances right, their head straight, their spiritual Actually I met somebody while I was in LA. They were like 28. Un hombre, pero un hombre, and he was like, I'd like to take you out on another date. But I live in the UK. I was like, oh God, no. I was like, I can't deal with long distance, and I can't deal, not like that time zone. So what I'm saying to say is that as we get older, there are certain things that we want. And a lot of the times, it's not even about finances. I need you to be financially straight.
Yes.
Because I got me.
Right.
But when I'm
Right.
taking care of you and me,
Right. Oh no.
for that, I'm going to get my eggs that are frozen, get myself a sperm donor, and get myself a baby that I can raise.
Right.
Because I'm not
Exactly.
raising another woman's child.
Right.
So that was the
everybody
whole
gotta
thing.
I love it. Justenia has podcast groupies. We're gonna join the club with Justenia.
Yeah, we definitely got to get on the podcast.
But but to be fair, there's nothing wrong with aging gracefully. There ain't
Yes.
nothing wrong with being single. A lot of the times people are like, what's wrong with her? Well, if you're watching this podcast episode, you realize that I was too much of a person pleaser.
Yeah.
That's what was wrong with me.
Right.
I saw too much good in people
Yeah.
because there's good in me. I made poor decisions. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that when you see a single man or a single woman, there's gotta be something wrong with them. No, they might be just perfectly fine.
Right.
They just didn't know their self-worth.
Exactly.
That's it, and that's okay.
So let me ask you
Just
one
learn.
last. Let me ask you one last question. You know, being that you had a public, relationship and things like that, moving forward in your next relationship
Y'all
that you
gonna
get
be
into,
confused.
y'all
gonna be confused.
Are you gonna be
confused. Not even my mama's gonna know until I'm married.
Right? Yes, that's what I was gonna ask you.
And be
Are
like
you gonna be a little bit more reserved? Yeah.
And listen, it's not about
Yes.
hiding the person that I love.
No.
It's just that like y'all gonna be like, wait. I posted up a video. It was a fun little for my boy who was a personal trainer. Already, I'm like, yo, that's her new man. That's her new man. But then I posted something with a guy on my stories. You're like, wait, that's not her new man. That's her new man. Y'all are gonna be so confused that you ain't gonna
honey,
even
all
know.
the time. People
Y'all ain't
always
even gonna
wanna know.
And it needs to be like that sometimes because you gotta protect your peace and your heart.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's crazy to even say this because sometimes there are men out there that like the chase. He's like, oh, she's taken. And all of a sudden they show up. And then women are like, ooh, he seems really nice. I'm going to hit him up. People are just so weird nowadays when it comes to social media. And that's the side of social media I don't like. But social media is meant to be social. It's meant to unite people. You know, for those people that don't like social media but spend their time talking about how much they hate it, delete the app.
Right.
Thank
Delete
you.
the app. Why are you on it? Why are you
Why
on
are you
it?
scrolling and not liking? Like, why?
Listen, or staying in my stories. Don't say nothing.
Like you're blocked. Why are you even on my stuff?
Listen,
Don't get us started.
I love it because I don't.
We could go on
I don't
for
give.
days.
I don't give people too much energy. If it's not positive. So I love it. I'm like, hey, keep watching. It's on you, boo.
Right. Keep watching. Keep wasting your time because you
That's
had
right.
to. I'm like, I'm deleting this
Like-
other account again, knowing it was you with the other account, and you gotta go
Listen,
so
don't talk
that's
about the
it.
fake pages
far
now.
left. The far left.
Okay, Pete got
But people
fans.
still do that.
I be having to put my shit
Far
on
left.
silent
Like, but
sometimes.
like some people,
Protecting my energy, man.
for real, some people are married with kids, got a whole career, but y'all creating fake
A lot of
accounts just to
people.
stalk other people.
A lot of people.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. And then they use faith in God to justify their wrongs. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but the scripture didn't say that.
no,
Like, it didn't say that.
Listen. So this has been great. Thank you so much. Like we're about to steal you from your other place you gotta go to.
We're about
But-
to bring you to this girl's
All
house.
right. So we know what you're leaving behind in 2023, right?
Yeah.
We got through that. Woo, good riddance. So what do you want to see in 2024?
2024 is just gonna be more memories, more shared conversations, being amongst people that I can be inspired by and also inspire, being in the right room. I'm not gonna share all of my dreams and aspirations because
No,
I
you
feel like
shouldn't.
how do you kill a king? Through infant form, meaning my babies, my dreams are my dreams. I can't share that because whether you a fan or
Right.
not, I don't know your energy, but I fucking hate this bitch. She's too nice.
Energy is real.
She's too nice.
Right.
You know? Or oh my god, I love her, but I wish I could do that. That seems too like so. For that, I wish everybody the best in 2024. But I'm just gonna put myself in spaces that I can grow and elevate. That's it.
Right.
And not hurt nobody in the process. That's it.
That's it.
Good
That's
intentions all the time.
Listen, 2024, we're walking fearlessly into alignment with God first, okay? And we ain't gonna let nothing deter us from that journey, all right?
Amen to that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being on, girl. Multifaceted queen.
You're gonna be hearing from me about this exam. though.
Yes,
I'm
all
prepping
right,
for
guys.
it.
New York or New Jersey?
That was
New
another
York.
great
Okay, New York.
episode of the Fearless Show. Okay. Happy New Year, everybody. And again, like, share, comment, follow, all that good stuff. All right? All right.